Hi, my name is Sophia Bleasdale, and today I want to talk to you about a serious issue facing millions of Americans: the stigma around mental health in our veteran community. We often picture veterans as the embodiment of strength, discipline, and sacrifice, but what we don't always see or allow them to show is vulnerability, emotion, and struggle. As a result, many suffer in silence, even when help is available. That's why I'm introducing a campaign that doesn't just encourage support, it redefines what strength looks like. Using research on social norms and stereotypes, this campaign challenges the idea that real soldiers stay silent, because true strength isn't hiding pain, it's the courage to speak up. Let's talk numbers. According to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, 11 to 20% of Iraq or Afghanistan veterans experience PTSD in a given year. Yet most never seek treatment. Why? Fear of judgment, fear of seeming weak, fear of being seen as less of a soldier. This isn't just a perception issue, it has deadly consequences. Veterans face higher suicide risks than the general population, and untreated mental illnesses play a major role. Stigma isn't just a barrier, it's a silent killer, and it's often internalized, shaped by military culture. From a social psychology lens, stigma persists for identity-based reasons. Social identity theory says we define ourselves by our group. For veterans, that group values courage, self-reliance, and emotional control. Seeking help can feel like betraying those values. Veterans may avoid treatment to stay aligned with what they believe a real soldier should be. This is where descriptive norms matter. If it seems like no one else is going to therapy, they won't either. To break the cycle, we must change what the norm looks like. That's where my solution comes in: a counter-stereotype storytelling campaign. The idea is simple but so powerful. We feature real veterans, like respected leaders, decorated officers, everyday service members, who openly talk about their mental health journeys. Some might show how therapy helped them reconnect their family. Others might talk about hitting rock bottom and finding strength in their treatments. Some may even be therapists now, helping their fellow veterans. These stories challenge the stereotype that veterans must be emotionally invincible. They show that seeking help doesn't erase strength, it redefines it. By spreading these examples on social media, in veteran organizations, and even within the VA system, we begin to reshape what's considered normal in the veteran community. For example, veteran advocacy groups could partner with influencers or public figures who are also veterans to create short video reels showing raw, honest moments, like asking for help, going to therapy, or supporting a fellow soldier emotionally. These clips could be posted with hashtags like #StillStrong or Real Veterans to build momentum. Another implementation could be within the VA system itself. Posters or screens in waiting rooms could feature diverse images of veterans expressing emotion, with short quotes or QR codes linking to mental health resources available. Community colleges and universities with veteran student populations could host Real Strength Weeks, encouraging open discussions and peer-led panels that normalize vulnerability. Even something as small as training veteran peer mentors or support group leaders to model emotional openness can ripple out into broader cultural change. The more places we see this counter-stereotype, in person and online, the more it chips away at the stigma. This approach works because of three key psychological mechanisms. First is social modeling. When people see someone like them doing something, like going to therapy, it increases the likelihood that they'll do the same. Veterans who see strong, respected peers talking openly about mental health will feel safer doing it too. Second is norm shifting. As more counter-stereotypical stories are shared, the perception of what's normal begins to change. Therapy isn't seen as weak anymore. It becomes just another tool in the veteran's kit. Third is self-categorization theory. This expands social identity theory by showing how people compare themselves to, quote, prototypes of their group. If we change the prototype of a veteran to include vulnerability and healing, we expand what's acceptable. In short, we're not asking veterans to reject who they are, we're helping them redefine it in a healthier, more human way. This campaign isn't just about PR, it's about life and death. Reducing mental health stigma can increase therapy use, reduce suicide rates, and reconnect veterans with their families and communities. And because this campaign is grounded in real social psychological principles, not just surface level messaging, it's more likely to lead to long-term sustainable change. In the end, if even one veteran hears another story and decides to ask for help instead of suffer in silence, that's a victory. One great example that already challenges the stigma around veterans and their mental health is Headstrong, a nonprofit that offers confidential, cost-free therapy for veterans. They focus on destigmatizing treatment by making access simple and discreet, which is a huge step forward. But where my campaign builds on is by pushing the public visibility side even further. Headstrong works behind the scenes, which is powerful, but my approach aims to shift what's seen on the front lines of culture, in social media feeds, in VA spaces, and within veteran peer groups. Instead of just treating mental health, we're reframing it, turning silence into outward spoken strength and stigma into solidarity. We're using social psychological tools like norm shifting and counter stereotypes to change the expectations that veterans and the people around them have about what strength looks like.